oven-dried Roma tomatoes and crispy bacon. We're even making our own Texas toast infused with herbs for these Kentucky hot browns. Always kosher salt when you're making a brine, and a little hot water will help dissolve it. Sweet balances out salty, garlic gives us flavor, as well as the Thanksgiving herbs, rosemary, sage, and thyme. The hot water dissolves the salt and releases the flavor. A cup of salt to a gallon of water. Cold water and a tray of ice. 6% salt solution plus flavor for poultry. Never more than 8 to 12 hours or it's going to become f***ing ham. Bread flour for that little extra oomph. Equal parts flour and water, 100 grams each. And a healthy pinch of yeast. Polish is going to give this bread structure and a little extra flavor. Keep the moisture in and let that yeast do the work overnight. If you do that and it smells like booze and you see it's wrinkly and looks like it's collapsed, that Polish is going to give us that crumb we're looking for in this bread. 200 grams of water and 50 grams of warm milk to keep things going. A teaspoon of yeast and brown sugar for that super boost and also flavor. No mixer required. We're doing this right in a bowl. 220 grams of bread flour for strength and 180 grams of all-purpose flour for tender crumb. Bread doesn't work without salt, not just for flavor. Bring those together. We got to let that wet and dry come together. Oh, I almost forgot. 30 grams of melted butter. Butter is going to help keep this bread tender. I'm just going to bring this into a ball. Cover it. I'll be back to this shortly. Roma tomatoes aren't actually Italian. They're American tomatoes. A cross between the Pan American and the San Marzano. Too small, they're underripe and acidic. Too big, and you got gaps in the middle everywhere. When you pick them, you should pick the medium size, and they should feel heavy. Those are the sweetest. These tomatoes were developed for cooking. Salt on the flesh to draw the water out. The garlic powder may be optional for you, but it isn't for me. Nor is the olive oil. Low and slow. We need those to dehydrate and the Maillard reaction to take place. A convection fan will speed up that process. No more than 250. You got to give your flour time to suck that moisture up, especially when you're working with the locally milled stuff. No gloves for this. This dough feels good in your hands. And no extra flour required. And after 10 minutes, your dough will be smoother and less sticky. But definitely keep that bench scraper handy. Now we need that yeast and Polish to do its thing. Preferably in a warm spot, over 70 degrees. Cover it to stay warm and keep that moisture in. That became a big boy quick. In just a couple hours, a Polish and that yeast does a nice job. We got to shape it for this loaf pan. A little shorter than the pan is long. Stretch it out. Since we're using this for turkey sandwiches, we're adding the stuffing herbs thyme, sage, and rosemary. The idea is not to squish out any of the air, and using the base of your hand to trap it in. Folding and trapping. Keep folding and trapping. Until we get a loaf. Into the pan to proof. Four hours. And we got tomato concentrated goodness. But if we flip them, we can dry them out just a little bit more. Oven roasted Roma tomatoes. Caramelized tomato flavor. Once it's proofed, it'll fill the pan. Ideally, you don't have bubbles popping on top like us. And if you're going to score it, use a fresh razor. Or don't even bother. You can buy Texas toast, or you can go the extra step. I prefer to bake my loaves at 375. No such thing as a home oven that doesn't require a spin in between. Salinity has to equalize in the meat, sucking in moisture with it. That's the only way to get flavor right through into that thick piece of meat. The best way to do this is with a piece of foil. Making a loose ball and shoving it up that breast's ass. Salt and pepper on that skin. "35 minutes. Want to make sure you're baked? Are you over 200? You're baked. Brush it with butter right away, keeping things nice and soft. I bake turkey breast starting at 325. An hour and a half. Time for that butter basting. Currently, with temping, just under 130. Time to up that temp. Time to finish cooking and get golden brown. That butter's soaked into the bread, softening the crust and helping extend the shelf life. Sandwich bread texture with stuffing herb flavor. And we're cutting thick slices. Since we're not going to need the ends.
It's infused with f***ing Thanksgiving flavors.
That's the test piece. Texture's perfect.
That is great texture, great chew. It's soft, it's fluffy, it's wonderful.
This sauce starts with a roux. In this case, butter and flour. Always equal parts. This is a thick roux, like sand. If your milk is cold, this isn't going to work. And to make the sauce extra rich, we're adding heavy cream too. If the milk were too cold, it would seize up that roux. Start by adding half. We're going for a thick bechamel on this one. I'm going to hold a little back in case I need it later. That's a bechamel. If we add that, it becomes a Mornay. This is Gruyère, the good stuff. That dehydration line and that rind tells me this is the good stuff. Regular people do one kind of cheese. I'm not regular. I do two. Gruyere and Parm. Looks a lot like mac and cheese sauce, don't it? Melt that cheese, season it with salt and not pepper, peppers, hatch green chilies. Mornay with hatch green chilies.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I'm going to say we're good. Get a temp. Oh yeah, we're good. I prefer making thick bacon in the oven. A silpat and a sheet pan as a weight will help keep things flat. That's a big piece of meat. So make sure you let it rest a while before you put a knife to it. Still juicy even though I overcooked it. Remove 2 big pieces. For this sandwich, you want nice thick slices of turkey.
Tender and juicy and so fucking full of flavor.
It's going to work.
Well done.
It is. That is tender and juicy. Toast up some thick slices of that bread. Add a thick piece of that delicious turkey you made. And cover it with that Mornay sauce. And a little extra Parm. Because why not? Under the broiler to get all melty. That would make any hotel famous. That already looks good. I'm not letting that go to waste. I want all that. Roasted tomatoes. And that signature crisscross or crispy bacon.
What a towering culinary feast this looks to be.
And maybe a little extra sauce. Because why not? Can't move that without taking a bite.
You really want to get a bite with fucking everything. A little bacon, a little tomato. Thanksgiving wrapped up in mac and cheese sauce with a sprinkle of breakfast on top. It's ridiculous.
I'm a fan.
And this is just supposed to be slop to soak up the alcohol after a hard night of having fun, huh?
Yep, Louisville hangover cure.
I mean, not that I've had the original, but I love this spin with the green chili.